my dear Pisces. This is a love reading, a prediction for Aries season, March 19 to April 19, 2020, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. If you would like to, you can help my channel to grow and stay vigorous and healthy on YouTube by liking and subscribing. Also be sure to put on the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my videos when I'm posting them. Some of you do no longer get notification for my videos, even if you have chosen to have the notification bell on, and I'm so sorry for that. But I have put up a troubleshoot on my community section that you can use to solve this. And this will be a love reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising Sign, and Venus, Vedic or Tropical. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. So, when I tell you that this is you, it might as well be the person or the situation you are dealing with. Use your own intuition and recognition to determine who is who in this reading for you. And if you need more information or help after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the love readings for Pisces season that is up. We are in the beginning of Pisces season right now, so I can also say happy birthday again to you, Pisces. You can also turn to the pick a card readings and near personal readings on the first page of my channel. And I will start shuffling your cards, and I use the Golden Universal Tarot with Roberto de Angelis. So, when I open your deck here, I see the Knight of Swords together with Queen of Swords. So, it seems like you are preventing some bad behavior from people in your surrounding. You don't tolerate this anymore. So if someone comes and wants to be sneaky with you, you will call them out. And it's also about these, sometimes we can get irritated with people, even if they may be right about what they are saying, but we can still be irritated, and we can start to manipulate the person by, for example, not sending as many text messages or delaying answering the phone, things like this. So it's also about this, to actually make your relationships better by also calling out this little bit more innocent behavior and asking, okay, so it seems like you are irritated with me, or it seems like you have it seems like you have stopped sending text messages, or so we can, it's also about those small things. It doesn't mean that a person is, like, you don't have to deal with a narcissist for having this kind of situation. It can just be that you have a little grudge with someone and you haven't really kind of weathered that or take it out to the scene between you two. It's hidden, so people are doing hidden and small manipulative things to show their disapproval of you, for example. And this can be a good thing to actually call it out, but not in a way to create more drama, but actually, like, with an open mind, ask, okay, so what's going on? Do you have a problem with me? Or so things can get more to the surface, and this under the surface behavior that many people rule their relationship with doesn't have to be that way. Instead of being irritated with people and keeping a smiley face on, but then stop speaking to the person, it's not really the ultimate way to deal with these kind of situations. It can be better to discuss it openly. Okay, so what's going on? Or this was irritating to me because you are putting a lot of burden to me, yada yada. So okay. So this 4 archangels, I call the 4 archangels, and we have I call the divine with love and light. Sorry, I'm speaking too much, so I'm confusing myself here. So we can see that this person comes with love, but it might be hurt feelings or something that make this person, like, under the surface kind of sneaky. Okay, so the horse is in the reverse and the person is in the reverse. So sometimes when we feel unfairly treated, for example, we might start to take revenge with small little things. For example, if if your husband didn't remember to do that thing he promised to do, you might, when he comes home, you might say that, no, dinner isn't ready, I'm actually going out, I'm going to visit a friend, so you can cook something for yourself. Instead of dealing with the topic at hand, it seems like it's some undersurface kind of thing. Okay, but love is still there. It's just that the feeling got hurt in some way, and we need to call out a person that's doing like this. It's better to actually voice one's concern instead of acting manipulative or small like pinches like this. Okay, so now I call the 4 archangels, and we have the Chariot in reversed with the Knight of Swords in the upright position. I'm getting the sense that this person wants to look on the surface. They want to look as they are a very good person. So they want to, for example, I see so many different things here, but I will try to choose one and describe it for you. I see a person that keeps themselves too good for engaging in any drama. So when you get upset in the relationship, they call you maybe that you are a drama queen, or that this is unnecessary, and that ask you, why do you have all these emotions? I don't have these emotions. Because they are sitting a little bit on their high horse, but it's a false image is what I'm feeling. It's not the real image. They are actually just kind of playing a game to look good, which is it's a power game basically, and it makes this person not having to expose themselves, but it can also make you having to expose yourself and become rather vulnerable. So we're moving on. So I call the 6 elements, and yeah, we have the 10 of Swords with the Chariot here. So this is when a relationship crash, when one person doesn't want to listen to the other, and the other person can't understand what is really going on. It seems like this person is mad, but I don't know why, or I know why, but why don't they tell me what they are feeling? I was only trying to do this and this, and they seem really upset, and now they are punishing me. So from both sides, it seems like this relationship can end because both people are upset with each other, and it's for not having a way to deal with conflicts when we don't think alike, or when we feel maybe helpless in a situation. We have asked the person to do a certain thing or a change, and they promise to do it, and they don't. And sometimes when a person forgets a thing, really forgets it, it's almost like a divine help to create this kind of dramatic situation, because we can't remember what we have forgotten. If we have forgotten something, for example, we were supposed to buy diapers on our way home from work, and we forgot it. We can't remember a thing that we have forgotten. We can argue that the person doesn't take responsibility for the children in this scenario, but and that's one thing we need to work on, and maybe giving this person more of the consequences of there's no diapers. Okay, so now there's no diapers. Maybe you can, you're so smart, maybe you can figure out a way to manage without them at this point, and you hand over the child. Okay, so we don't have to start with becoming bitter or angry in this situation. We just need to give the person more responsibility over that area, so it will come to their mind. Okay, so enough with that, but this seems to have already gone far south, so we'll see. 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Pisces viewers. So I want my dear Pisces to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So I will just tune in here for a few seconds to you and your situation. Okay, so my dear Pisces, this is the new bottom of the deck, and it's a Six of Swords. So we want to move on from this situation, but it seems like the divine doesn't really let us move on from the problem itself. It's going to repeat in other relationships if you don't solve it in this relationship. So you really need to take the bull by the horn and sort it out, because there's no escape without taking the actual conflict or discussing the matter at hand. And you might feel like you're imposing yourself on the person. They don't want to talk about it. But I think you need to push it and talk about it, because it's anyway going to repeat and repeat and repeat. So it doesn't matter if you make a fool of yourself in this situation and, you know, show vulnerability and that this situation matters and you really want to solve it, because you need to have that kind of energy to actually do it, because it's an endless repetition is what I'm seeing with these kind of dynamics, where we either keep ourselves too good to go into the conflict and we turn away with a frowny face and, oh, that person is so difficult, or we are on the other side and we want to discuss the matter, but we see this frowny face and we don't want to make a fool of ourselves. Okay, so this is the old bottom of the deck, and it's a situation where we weren't courageous enough to actually stand up and be an adult person about this. We were ruled by subconscious insights. For example, we can see on a person's posture or on their face expression or what they are writing to us in a text message. We can see, oh, okay, so they obviously don't want to talk, and now they have come to this limit where they I'm going to be kind of tossed away a little bit, and then we just let it go. But here, I'm not saying that you should be a stalker or anything, but if this is an important person, like your family member, your best friend, your partner, you can't just give up on this note. It seems like there's a misunderstanding and people get hurt to left and right without exposing the feelings of hurt. And misunderstandings can just grow and grow and grow because things aren't discussed in a proper manner, okay? So this is what's on your mind about the person most on your mind, and this is your situation with that person, and this is what's on their mind about you. This is your feelings towards them, the bond that binds you together, and this is their feelings towards you. And this is your behaviors and attitudes, the outcome for this situation, and their behaviors and attitudes. So we start with the situation, and we have an Ace of Coins. So this uncomfortable situation is actually a gift to you. It's like, here we go again, and now we give you a second chance to see if you can make this in a better way, and not just give up on the situation and lose yet another friend, yet another lover, or become cold with your family or whatever it is. So it's a chance, we can say. And here is what's on your mind about this person most on your mind. And it's the Seven of Wands. So you feel like they are not fighting for you. They are not ready to, you know, take the difficult discussions or talk about the important topics. They just want to brush it underneath the carpet, which makes you also give up, and you don't want to fight either, is what I'm seeing. So it's like giving up on standing up for oneself and the idea that you had, or the thing you wanted to discuss, or the problem that needed to be solved. It's just, no, okay, so to hell with it, kind of. And here we have what's on their conscious mind about you. And we have the Four of Coins in the reverse, so they kind of have the same thing. And the funny here is that both people probably have the same feeling, that the other person doesn't care. And one person is feeling like they weren't good enough, and the other person is difficult, and the difficult person is feeling like they are not understood, and they are not getting the help that they needed, and so they feel abandoned. So it's a very similar situation for both of you, where you are feeling roughly the same. And I'm thinking it's a lack of insight in the other person's world. So we can't understand where they are coming from and what their real emotions, because they're probably trying to be heroic in a way and not show their real feelings. Everyone is often set on this. Normal people are often set on this. They don't want to cause conflicts. So they just pull away when something gets difficult, or they don't say when they feel mistreated, or they don't say when you have stepped on their toes, or you don't tell them when there's something that's so important for you that you actually want to really discuss it, or you do, and they walk away because they feel like you're angry with them, or you don't understand them. So there's a lot of misunderstandings where there's a lot of projections going on, where we assume we know what a person is about, but it's totally wrong in most of the cases when we do this. We need to ask the other person, so where are you coming from? How do you feeling about this? What's difficult for you? What do you need help with? How can I support you in this situation? So how can we work together? How can we make this work? So it's not about putting the blame anywhere. It's more about being able to understand yourself, being able to understand the other person, and vice versa. So you can make a good plan or a good compromise that works for both people moving forward. And here both people feel instead rather abandoned, and it's like they're giving up on us, or they don't want to give the help, or they don't want to take this responsibility and things like that. So this is the bond that binds you two together. And we have a Knight of Wands in the reverse. So I'm feeling both people in this equation is trying to take better care of themselves in difference to what they did before. So I feel that both people have learned to have better boundaries and to walk away when things get too heated or too difficult, or so it's like you're not really two abusive people that's destroying each other's lives. It's more like you're two people that have been the victim of this, and maybe victimized also each other with this, but actually have learned a certain amount of self-love and being able to learn that I need to have boundaries. I need to be able to say no. And that's good. That's like lesson number 1. It's being able to say yes and no accordingly to what's your true will. But then comes the next hard lesson, and that is being able to still stand there and still want to solve the situation. And when both people are like that, you can really get somewhere. Lesson 1 is to not let yourself be run over. Lesson number 2 is to man and woman up, to become an adult and to actually solve situations with other people. But right now you are more in this situation where you don't want to be mistreated anymore, and you're more ready to just drop a person or a situation, even if they mean a lot to you. So this is your feelings for them, and we have a 3 of Pentacles. So you obviously want to solve things with them, but you feel like they don't want to solve things with you. But in the same time, they feel like you are not really there for them, or it's easy for you to drop the ball on them, or that you could easily exchange them for another person, or that you don't really know what kind of situation they are truly in. So you can't see their problems. It's something like that, or different variation of that. So this is their feelings towards you. And we have the Fool in the reversed. So the Fool in the reverse together with the Knight of Wands in the reversed, it shows that this person is kind of acting much in this essence what I just told you about the Knight of Wands. And it's just that they are still immature, but they have come to the conclusion that they don't want to be treated badly. So that's a good thing. It's just that this seems to be a misunderstanding, and they can't stay put to solve it. It's actually they are making matters worse by escaping or becoming the martyr, or acting like all blame is on you. So they are not really facing their own responsibility in this situation. They just want you to do the things to support them so they can deal with their overwhelming crap. If you start to have ideas of your own, they can't deal with it because they are already overwhelmed, is what I'm feeling. Okay. So this is your behaviors and attitudes towards them, and it's a Two of Pentacles. So here it's like the prophecy is coming through. You want to work together with them, but since they are dropping the ball on you, you are kind of dropping the ball on them. And this is when the relationship fizzles out and the situation isn't solved. But as we saw, you are not going to be really able to move away, but maybe have grudges about this situation for years to come and feel that it was unresolved. It could have been solved, but it seems like mostly this person is holding themselves too good for even trying to work it out with you. And this is their behaviors and attitudes towards you. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here. So it's a little bit of a wild card in this situation. It's a big change happening here, and you can't tell where it will end. It's like the Wheel of Fortune, you just roll it and it ends on some level. But I will see if we can get some kind of clue with the energy oracle cards here. So their behaviors and attitudes. The Temple part. Well, they are on a very important part on their spiritual journey. They are on this wheel. So they're about to learn about this, and if they can't learn with you that they need to stay and solve things and stand up for themselves, but also be able to listen to you, they are going to have to learn it with someone else. That's what I'm seeing. It's almost like the Six of Swords here all over. This is something that is in their destiny that they need to learn. So if they're walking away here, they're still going to have to learn this with someone. So it's about being able to define oneself and stand up for oneself, but still not walking away, but actually being ready to solve a situation in a healthy manner. Of course, it doesn't apply to, for example, if you are having a death threat from one person, you can't stay and stick around and want to solve it. So you need to be smart enough to know how to deal with this. But then usually we can't deal with the people that wants to kill us or other things that's destructive in more than words, or more than words can also be very destructive, but that's not abusive, but it's more this where people are bitter and frowning with their face and walking away. So this kind of situation is what this applies to. Where you could have done more to solve it, but you didn't, or one person wanted to, but the other person kept themselves too good to do this. But here I can see that this is not going to help them because they're going to have to solve this kind of thing anyway. So it doesn't help to just, scream at a person and you are the worst thing that ever happened to me and throw the door in their face and walk away. It's not going to help. We actually need to stay and sort it out, because these people, even if we feel like they are the worst people on earth, they are our soul. They belong to our soul group. We meet them and we have this conflict because it was destined to happen like that. So they are important. Even if we feel we want to drop them like a hot potato, this person is still important. So your job is to solve this. And so it's about not giving up. But for you, it seems a little bit hopeless because this person has given up, but they will then find themselves in the hamster wheel of the same thing happening until they actually stay and solve this. with maybe another person from the same soul group, or with you. We don't know. But, and here we have the outcome. So Six of Pentacles is a really good card here. It's a lot of pentacles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then suddenly 6. So not the 5 of Pentacles, but I think the 5 of Pentacles is kind of the trigger to hold this situation, that a person doesn't want to feel disrespected or unloved. And it's for both people in this equation. But here it seems like we will get another chance to solve this, because it's destined. So even if this person is walking away right now, at some point you are going to solve it, because it's still a karma with you. We can see this eternity shape here, an 8. You are not let loose. This is the Wheel of Fortune, so it's the spiral, same karma over and over again. And here we have the 6 of Pentacles, which is the scales. So when this karma is going to continue until it's being balanced out. So instead of being prideful and thinking that, well, I'm never going to talk to that person again because they are so darn stubborn with walking away, we can, take a vacation. This seems heavy enough. It seems like you have gone with your heart on your sleeve and tried to solve a situation, and it didn't help. But when this situation recycles, or you feel the urge to call them, or they feel the urge to call you, give it another go to try to solve it. And then it will probably maybe fail or not. But if it fails, then let it be. And when it comes back around here with divine timing, give it another chance to solve it. So this is how you will eventually be able to solve it on a grander scale or more permanently. But for now, it's just these small teachings, and then we get tired of the situation, walking away maybe, coming back, learning something more, getting tired of the situation, walking away. So I think this is kind of an ongoing discussion, and it can't be solved at this moment, but you still have this kind of soul contract that this needs to be, you need to learn this. So also practice in other relationships, not just this relationship, but in all your relationships. Even if people are, walking away, go after them and say, so what are you feeling right now? Why are you walking away? How can I help you? So you can at least get a discussion with a person. So it says, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and fate will bring you romance. So if you can be a little bit more stoic, not take the other person's actions so personally, you can also be more of a rock in this situation to stabilize it, not in a way to disrespect yourself, but if you know that there's a bond between you, it can't be really broken, then just try to not be so touched by it. Just relax in the knowing that okay, so we didn't solve it this time. The divine will give us more situations to solve it, and maybe I can't solve it with my mother this time, but then it will probably come up another conflict with my neighbor, and I can solve it with them temporary, and then I will go back and and I will solve it with my mother, and then I will solve it with the postman or whatever. So you will have lots of occasions to practice with this, and it's going to be tedious, but kind of necessary. So I will read also the temple part for you, so you can understand a little bit what's behind all this. So we can see here that the path is actually a spiral, and it's not leading up the stairs. It's this like you're going like in circles and going lost a little bit, and then up one stair and then falling down. So it's not a straight road, because it's a learning experience, and the divine has its way of sending us on wild goose chases that actually makes us very experienced and very enlightened because of all the challenges that we face. So spiritual purpose and support. Receiving this card represents your own spiritual evolution. The winding path you are on leads to a blessed temple in a lovely garden, symbolizing the spiritual destiny your soul has had in mind for this lifetime. This card upright is here to tell you that what you're going through now is all a part of your soul's process. You are on your karmic path and heading in the right direction, and the choices you make now are important for your personal growth and life lessons. The lights around the temple represent the spirit world, your family members and friends, angels and guides, all the loving spirits, helpers who long to assist you. Call upon them and be open to their wisdom and inspiration. This is a wonderful life-expanding time, so keep in mind your personal priorities as well as your spiritual connection. Following your higher intention will help you move your life forward in dramatic ways, and connecting with spirit and your higher self will have a wonderful influence on all that you experience. So we can say that there's a lot of hope that this person will, even if they're walking away from you and not solving this right now, they will face things and get spiritual help that will make them recycle themselves, and they will be able to be forgiveness and understanding eventually. Right now, I feel you're standing there and what? I thought maybe we could solve this. No, okay, not. That's just accept that that's the situation right now, and also trust that the divine will make this person see things in another way while time moves along, because they will learn to see things from other perspectives so that they will become wiser for it. Okay, so my dear Pisces, I hope this helped, and if you need more information or insights, you can go to my first channel page and check out the Pisces love readings that is up. We are in the beginning of Pisces season now, so again, happy birthday Pisces. You can also check the pick a card readings and near personal readings. If you scroll down, there's different playlists with different groups of readings, and I will also come back with more pick a card readings and near personal readings throughout the month. I will try to do them every other day, and in the end of March I will also come back with the same reading as this, but for Taurus season. So until then, take really good care and bye bye.